everybody, welcome back to another tutorial video. On this video we're actually going to be drawing some snowmen. So snowmen are my favorite winter time symbol. I love them on Christmas cards. I collect little snowmen. They just make me happy, and it's something that it actually took me a long time to figure out how to draw a snowman convincingly, because they're just deceptively simple, I guess, and really I was overthinking the whole process. In one of my previous videos, I did a review on the chameleon pens specifically for people who use alcohol-based ink or alcohol-based markers in their artwork, and at that time I gave it a 7 out of 10. I wasn't really sold on them, but I've been using them now for the last week and doing my Christmas cards this year with them, and now I'm in love with them. So I'll go ahead and bump that up to a 9 out of 10, and let's get started. So these are two of my little Christmas card paintings that I've done on 4x6 Canon photo paper. I use the Canon photo paper because it's high gloss and the ink moves really good on this paper without staining it. And at the end I'll put up some pictures of the actual cards that I did with these. And what I do is I scan in my paintings at a 300 dpi on my color scanner, and then I save copies of everything I do. That way if I want to make prints later, I have them and we can make prints. So like I said, these are for cards, but you can print them out. If you do a 300 dpi, you can actually print them out a little bit bigger than the size that you scan them in, and the print quality will still be really good. So I'm going to set these aside. Now with the ink that's in the bottle, I'm actually only going to use maybe 1 or 2 colors. And I do this because I like my backgrounds for my snow guys to be relatively light. I use a lot of the blue in the background to actually make the snowmen with. So I start out by taking my alcohol blending solution. This is the Tim Holtz Adirondack kind that I use on most of my videos. And I get that a good squirt there with the solution. And then we just do the same thing we do on our bigger paintings and landscapes and things like that. Really what I'm doing here is just trying to get the sky, and it might be a little too dark for me. So to lighten that up, I add more of the solution. And then again, I get my canned air from Costco, and I get it in the cases. That way, I think it's something like maybe $16 for a case of canned air when you can pay $7 for 1 can at places like Walmart. Just spray it with the canned air to get a little bit of texture in the background. And then, so these white spots that happen, this occurs every now and again when you're using the ink. So because those are really big and I probably don't want to fill that much in with marker, I'll go ahead and pour a little more solution on there and try to cover up the white spots as much as possible. But then again, I've got all this blue happening. Each one of your paintings will be original, one of a kind. You won't be able to really duplicate the patterns. That's another reason I like to scan in my work. Now, while I already have my canned air out and everything, I'm going to go ahead and do the background for my next one. And I've been playing with this two-toned background where the bottom's blue and the top is purple. So I'm going to go ahead and do that again. This is Twilight Purple, and I'm using Sailboat Blue for the blue part. Just 2 drops of that. 2 drops of the blue. And then I just work it around until I get something that I really like. Try to get the extra off over to the side there. When I'm doing my snow people, I like the backgrounds to be kind of wispy and soft. Don't really want any hard edges or anything like that. Alright, so that one turned out really pretty. I like that. And I'm going to go ahead and set these aside to dry just for a minute. With this one, I'll show you this. I'm working on it. To get this effect here, I have this little small spray bottle, and I put just straight household alcohol in that spray bottle, and I make sure to hold it up really far because I just want it to mist and to come down like that. And then you can see there that it has a puts those little white dots back in the painting. So eventually this will be a snowman, I think. We'll try to make him look like he's in a snowstorm. So that's one that I'll be working on there. Alright, okay. So I actually like this one a little bit better than my blue background one. Make sure that we've got some of that taken care of. I'm going to go ahead and move my mat because the mat is actually pretty wet with ink. And I will lay this down here on my second mat. Okay. Alright, so here's where I start to use the pens. Now the Chameleon pen set came with this really cool blender, and if you use the blender first, it will mark out white spots. So most of my snowmen have the traditional 3 snowball look. And I think right here is where I decide if they are looking down, if they're looking up, if their eyes are open, if they're looking to the side, what's really going on with the scene. So let's see. I want him. Oh, sorry about that. It sounds like one of my cats is getting into stuff in the other room here. He likes to be a little naughty. Let's go here. And so right here, all I'm doing is really just taking up some of the ink that's in the background, and this will blend in to the snowman or snow lady and actually help to give her a little bit of color, or him, whichever. Haven't decided yet. We'll see. Okay, so you can start to see that. Now, as I do this, you'll see me scrubbing the blender over here on the clean part of this mat, and that's to actually clean the tip. It will be stained like you see there, but it will run clear. And you definitely don't want, if you're working on a piece, you don't want color from a different piece getting in the middle of that. And then here will be the second part. This little snowman is actually pretty large. That's okay. You can be cuddly snowman. Okay. Alright, so here is my basic shape. Okay. So this actually does a couple of things. to do the outline like that to start with. One, it kind of creates a tiny little barrier for when I go in here with the solution, and it'll keep it, as long as I'm very careful, it will keep it from moving outside of the lines, which is what I want. Now, of course, there's ways where I could get really messy and ruin the whole thing, and that just takes practice. You want to make sure that you use a light hand. So what I did here is I poured a little bit of the blending solution into one of these little cups. These are just the little clear solo cups. And you can buy these at Walmart or Kroger's, Fry's, any grocery store that sells paper plates. That's usually what aisle they're in. And I dip a little bit of that on a disposable brush. And I start in the middle because it gives me more room to work. Goodness, I got all kinds of background noise going on today. I apologize for that. And so you can see where it's taking out more of that blue color. And putting in the white. And when this dries, when I'm done playing with it and moving all the blue color over to the side, it will look more like a snowman, and it'll have a little bit of definition. This had a lot more blue in it, I think, than I was anticipating. Here I'm just trying to get the blue off of my brush, and then I'm just going to work it in a circular motion and see if we can get most of the blue over to the side. This one might have a little more blue in it than what I want, but that's okay, he'll be unique. Almost. I'll work on this little side here just a little bit more. Okay. And the circular motion, once this all dries, it'll give it more of an appearance of being a sphere rather than just a flat circle. There we go. I'm okay with it the way it looks now. So I'm going to go down here and start on this one. See what I mean about if you get too much on there, it'll start acting like maybe we don't want it to. So what I'm going to do here, I have a little bit more blue than what I actually want on there. So I'm going to get one of my felt rectangles here. This is just regular felt. And I'm going to try to clean up some of the blue in the middle. Or at least try to move it around. And that just comes from getting the background a little darker than I wanted it to be. Okay, that's a little better there, but I still would like this to not be as prominent on this side. And there we go. So we're done actually blocking in the snowman. And now we have to decide what kind of character will he be. Is he funny? Is he just a traditional snowman? What's going on with him? I'll hold that up a little bit. Maybe you can see a little bit better. He'll really start to come together here in just a minute. So this is where I actually have decided that I love these chameleon pins. So I take the aquamarine, the BG4, and I go around, actually that's the wrong one, but that's okay, we can be fixed. See, I'm going to leave this in. I'm not going to edit this out so that you guys understand that every artist makes mistakes. It's going to happen. Don't beat yourself up if it does. So, correction, I will be using BL3 Sky Blue. And I just go around the very edge of the snow person. And that helps define it a little more from the background. And it keeps that blue edge. So like I said, when I first started using these markers, I really didn't know if I liked them very much for the ink painting, but since I've been doing the cards and the detailed work, I really do like them. So for the nose, this is Seville Orange 0 or OR4. And let's see. I think on this one, I like to always give my snow people something special. I have one that's holding a heart. I have one that's got a little birdie sitting on his head. And let's make this one have a little bird friend maybe sitting on the tip of his nose. So I want to do his nose a little bit bigger or longer. And you know, it's a carrot, so it's just a triangle shape. And don't beat yourself up if you don't get a great shape on there. You know, carrots are not perfect triangles. They have bumps and ridges and grooves. And then I'm going to take my black one, deep black, BK4, and do some little eyes here. And some pretty raised eyebrows. He's surprised, so he's going to have some eyebrows that are raised. But this one I'm not going to give the button, the cold button mouth. I'm going to go ahead and do his mouth like that, because he's happy to have his little birdie friend. And we're going to use PK3 bubblegum. This is in the chameleon pens, the colors that I'm just to black that in a little bit, and then take the red, RD4 Crimson Red. Go right there. Oh, let's see. Let's go ahead and use the red for the scarf on this one as well, since we have a little bit of purple going on in the background and some blue. Complementary color, it'll work well together. Probably could have used green as well. And then we give it a little circle here for the tie. And then we bring it down a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring a little bit down right here. And let's do the cold buttons for his belly buttons. Is that a thing? Do snowmen have belly buttons? I don't know, but it's on his belly and they are buttons, so we're going to say yes. This snowman has belly buttons. And then I'm thinking, how about some earmuffs? I don't know, I've never done earmuffs on a snowman before, so this could look really silly. That's so bad. That's kind of cute. Alright, now we have to put the little birdie in. So I'm going to take the darkest blue that I have. It's Blue Violet BV4. And do a little circle for a head. And then bring it down. And back up for tail feathers. I always find it more interesting if there's a little bit of a story going on. So maybe this little guy has come to tell him all about how cold he is and he forgot to fly south for the winter. I don't know. But it's good to have friends, especially around the holidays. This is a micron pen, and I'm just using this to do the beak and give a hint of a little wing here on the bird. It probably would be hard to see on the video. But the micron pens, they are made by Sakura. I believe it's a Japanese company. Really good pens, and they write really well on top of the ink, so it's good to do detail work with. And then I'm going to go back and get the black marker. They are really having a conversation. So here's a little tree branch arm there. And maybe we'll bring it this way. Alright. And there you have a finished little snow guy. I like these really bright colors for when I'm doing Christmas cards, just because they're cheerful. They're a lot of fun to do. And I don't do this kind of art, by that what I mean is the cartoony look, very much, but at the holidays I find that our inner child comes out a little bit more, and it's a little more fun to experiment with just doing some really happy pieces and bright and cheerful, and that's really what I like to go for. So feel free to like, subscribe, and leave comments. I love to hear from you guys and see what you all think about what we're doing here. And if you have any suggestions or anything you'd like to see, go ahead and put it in the comments and I can try to make a video on that. Thank you all for coming and have a wonderful day.